Hi everybody, welcome back to Rebellious Menstruation. It's another video in my series on doing reviews of menstrual cups. This is Ruby Cup. It is Ruby Cup in red. This is the Ruby Cup small, I believe. I think next year I'll probably be buying the Ruby Cup large in black, because I do love the Ruby Cup so much. It is exceptionally soft. It is so soft. I do have a funny story about the Ruby Cup, which I'll tell you. It has this as the base, so as you may have noticed, I haven't actually cut the base off yet. It is a very good base. And it's got these grip rings. It doesn't have, they're not as high as the Yuki Cup's grip rings, but this bit here is very grippy, and very easy to get to. This here is my matching set. This is obviously the bag that came with it. It's organic cotton, this Ruby Cup bag, and this one here, and the cup spot. And then this one also came with a little liner pad as well, from Kitty Cat Cloth, who is also on Etsy. It comes with this type of print on the inside. Essentially, I love this print, I do love this cup spot as well, hence why my favourite cup is in it. I do also love the Yuki Cup. Ruby Cup is in a 46mm length size and by 40cm diameter and holds about 20 mils. It does have measurements on the inside. I'm not sure how well you can see them. So this is, so the measurement on the inside comes up to 15, so this is only a 20ml cup, so this is the small. I usually use the Yuki Cup on my heavy days, and I'll use this when I'm at work on my light days, just because on my light days I'll probably only get 5 to 7ml, which this cup can perfectly take. I have a very high cervix, which means this cup can go right up, which sometimes can be inconvenient. This is, now here's I'll just tell you a little bit more about the Ruby Cup, and then I'll tell you my funny story and why I kind of only wear this on low bleed days. It is vegan and cruelty free. It is made from medical grade silicone that have a variety of colours, including this wine colour. This has been sterilised, but I'll probably be pulling these in and out and need to definitely sterilise them again. This is actually founded by Maxi, Julie and Veronica. It is a European company, and they work out of both Barcelona and Nairobi in Kenya. They run a one-from-one charity program and sponsor Kenyan education fund Kenyan education systems for girls, where they provide girls a cup and some cloth pads. You can also buy cloth pads on their website, and these are to assist girls in both staying in school and not missing school, because of obviously not having enough money or supplies to actually afford menstrual products. So it's both the education and the provision of a cup and pads. So I bought this in May of this year, 2018, and I bought it because at that time they were doing a buy one and donate two run. So I bought this one, and 2 cups would have gone to girls in Kenya, which is fantastic. So it's both a great company, it's a great value company. This silicone is so ridiculously soft, and that's what leads me to what happened. Essentially, when I first got it, now because it was coming from Europe to Australia, it took, I think, 7 weeks or 8 weeks maybe. It took quite a bit of time to get here, so it was I think I used it in my July period, so I'd ordered it in May as a birthday present for myself because my birthday's in May, and then so I would have used it probably for my July period. Because on my heavy day I can bleed up to 50 mils of liquid in that day. If I'm not wearing a high capacity cup, actually I don't think any of my cups have that capacity, but you know, I can bleed between 30 and 50 on that day. So generally, say with the Yuki, I wouldn't necessarily change it, but this ruby cup being the small, I just wanted to try a smaller size, to be honest with you. And their next size up is only another 4 mil, and it's only a couple more millimeters longer. So I had to change it in the middle of my heavy day, but I really wanted to wear it and try it out. This I cannot feel. Once this is in and in place, I do not leak, I do not feel it, and it does not push on my bladder. It is heaven. Nearly all of the other ones will push on my bladder except for the Yuki cup, and I think it's just because the Yuki cup is a lot softer than other cups. So this one and the Yuki cup are phenomenally soft, and as kind of a consequence, I went to at my workplace at the time. We had this like a single-use bathroom, I guess, or single bathroom with a sink, and then we had another public, the public stalls, like one with the female bathroom has about 8-9 stalls in it, and then there's this one with its own sink and bath toilet in it. So I went to use the one with the own sink in it, so I could take this out, wash it out, and put it back in. Now I had been wearing I think the lunette the day before, so I'd worn on my first day of my period, because I usually have a prep pack with me and a prep pack in my bag at work. I'll just, when my period's due, I use an app, which I will be reviewing later. So if my app says, hey, you're due in 4 days, I'll just do up a prep pack and leave it in my desk at work. So it just sits there. So I had my lunette cup with me. So when my period started, I put my lunette cup in. And the next day I was all excited to use my very new ruby cup. So knowing that it would have been my second day is my heaviest day, knowing that it's going to be my heavy day, knowing that this was a smaller capacity cup, I had to go change it at midday. And for those of you who haven't experienced this, you can actually feel it when it's full. It actually kind of starts dropping in your vaginal canal, and you kind of can feel it pushing down. So I go in there, grab it. It was actually kind of easy to grab because it had dropped, because it was so full. It was overflowing full and actually spilled onto the backup liner I was wearing. That's fine because I usually carry extra liners and pads with me anyway for my period, in my period pack. So there I am. Thank God I was in a single kind of enclosed stall. When I went to pull this out, because I was used to the lunette is very rigid, and so holds its integrity really, really well. So when you actually pull out the lunette, when you break the seal and you pull it out, it holds its integrity really, really well. And then I usually pour the blood into the toilet, and then rinse it out, put it back in. But this day, not being prepared for how soft this was, I, broke the seal, pulled it, didn't really have to pull it down that much, broke the seal, pulled it out, and spilt it everywhere. Because this cup is so soft, it doesn't really maintain the integrity as well as the lunette, and so I was a little bit heavy-handed in, breaking the seal and pulling it out, and it just went poof. So I had to spend the next, 5-10 minutes cleaning up the stall just because I'd spilt an overflowing cup of blood everywhere. So that was my disaster story. It actually did not make me love the ruby cup any less. It actually just kind of reminded me not to be so heavy-handed when I'm taking these in and out, especially when I get a cup as soft as the ruby. Other than that, it's a great charity endeavour. I had this year ordered a black lally cup for Halloween, forgetting again that I'm Australian. It takes 8 weeks to 10 weeks for anything to get here. So I will be reviewing the lally cup soon. It did come in time for my last cycle, but I didn't leave the house, so I didn't actually use a cup. My upcoming period, which is due in I think 10 days, so the end of December, well, towards just before Christmas actually, I'll be at work, so up until Christmas Eve, so I'll probably use the lally cup this time, and I'll review it sometime in January. Love's Cup, use this if I'm on my 3rd day or 4th day and I'm at work. This is the cup I use. Don't feel it, love it, it's adorable. If you can get a ruby cup, get a ruby cup. Ruby Cup only sells their cup in black during the month of October, so hopefully next month. I missed out this month, and it was only just because I'd already ordered a lally cup. I will order this one in the large size in black next Halloween, but other than that, definitely love the ruby cup. It's currently my number one that I use on light days. It is soft, it doesn't push on my bladder, and it is actually quite small. This is the smallest cup I have, and it's just delightful. I have a variety of colours, as you can notice, but yeah, so I definitely recommend using the lally cup, the ruby cup. And like during that period story that I was telling you about where I accidentally dropped this cup, what I had with me at the time were these Kleenex wipes. These are, I don't really use these a lot. I've probably had this packet over a year, because I have kind of really transitioned far more towards reusable things, and I have done and uploaded a video on the reusable wipes that I've used, but I will take my reusable wipes around with me. However, until that time, these just usually, when my period's coming up, this just usually sits in my bag as in my menstrual, like my prep pack, just until I run out of them. Please do not flush these down the toilet, throw them in the bin. But they do actually help wipe up, especially when I'd spilt this all over. These actually did help kind of wipe everything up and clean everything up, and then I'd washed out the cup. If you're in a situation where you're in a public bathroom where you don't have access to the sink, you could possibly also use them. Do never ever get ones with fragrance in it. Very bad idea. But technically, these are the ones which I attempted to get at the time, with a lot less allergens in it. If you've watched any of my other ones, my other videos, you'll see what I clean them with while I'm on my period, which is like a kind of a foaming toy cleaner, and what I sterilise them in my little container in tongs, and what I carry them all around in. Outside of that, this is the ruby cup. I hope you're enjoying these reviews. If you have any questions, all the usual things apply, and my details will be in the comments below. Other than that, thanks, have a great day.